Hello and welcome to Nibble Pop. This is a channel where we provide educational videos specially for students of English language and literature. If you are studying English honors in any college under the West Bengal State University and wondering about the syllabus of the 5th semester or semester 5, then this video is going to help you out. I'm going to give you every detail about all the papers that you are going to attempt and the texts which you need to study. We also will be providing with you the links of the videos already made on some of these topics, and we also wish to make videos on the rest of the topics as soon as possible. So watch till the end of this video and don't miss anything. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask them in the comment section. This is Monami Mukherjee. Welcome to our channel. Now for the 5th semester, you have to study 2 core papers and 2 DSE papers. Now these DSE papers are supposed to be elective papers and I will come to them a bit later. First, let me talk about the core papers. Core 11 is specifically on issues of gender. For the background study, you need to do the confessional mode in women's writing, sexual politics, race, caste and gender, social reform and women's rights. So these are the things which you need to study as background knowledge. These won't be asked in any exam questions, but if you don't understand these concepts, then the text which you need to study will not be very clear for you. Now let me come to the main part of this course. Group A is essentially poetry. I Cannot Live With You by Emily Dickinson, Daddy and Lady Lazarus by Sylvia Plath, and Advice to Women and Bequest by Eunice D'Souza. We have here 5 poems by 3 authors or poets, and here it specifically deals with poetry. In group B of the same paper, you have fiction, where you have to study The Wide Sargasso Sea by Jean Rhys. And then you have a long short story which is by Charlotte Perkins Gilman, The Yellow Wallpaper. I've already made a video on The Yellow Wallpaper. Just look that up in my channel, and I will also give you the link in the description box, the whole video on The Yellow Wallpaper. And you have Bliss by Catherine Mansfield. I've also made a video on Bliss, so don't miss these videos. In group C, you have non-fiction, which is basically a collection of essays and articles. Here you have to study A Vindication of the Rights of Women by Mary Wollstonecraft. Not the whole thing, but chapter 1, page 11 to 19, chapter 2, page 19 to 38. So this is the selected portion. Then you have A Testimony of Our Inexhaustible Treasures by Ramabai Ranade. And the third part, or the third text which you have to study here, is an excerpt from Amar Jibon, which is an autobiography by Rasha Sundari Devi, and the translation is Shushi Tharu and K. Lalita, Women's Writing in India, Volume 1. Now coming to the pattern of questions. According to the original syllabus which was provided by the university, A Vindication of the Rights of Women, this particular text was to be tested through internal assessment, that is 20 marks exam, where your college teachers will give you assignments or take exams on them, give a project on them. So this is the portion allotted for internal assessment. So far as the end semester is concerned, the other texts, the other poems and essays and stories will be given for your exams at the end of the semester, but I don't want to give you the marks division yet. Last year also this happened, that due to COVID certain changes were made and the university sent certain notifications, and maybe there will be some changes this year too. Sometimes they take away these short questions to make things easier for the students, especially under the pandemic situation. Therefore, as soon as I get any such notification, I will definitely inform you through this channel. So right now, I am just giving you the names of the texts, and in the description box, I will also give a PDF of the original marks distribution of these texts, that what the original plan was. If there are any changes, I will definitely inform you. Fine. So this was your core 11. Now let's proceed to the next core. The university has also given certain suggested readings along with the syllabus. I will also provide you with the entire list in the PDF which I have given in the description box. Coming to the next core, that is core 12, the theme is early 20th century British literature. So here the background reading will be on modernism, postmodernism and non-European cultures, the women's movement in the early 20th century. So some feminist movements and stuff will be also taught here. Psychoanalysis and the stream of consciousness, the uses of myth, the avant-garde. Now you might feel a bit nervous, looking at these topics, but you just need to have a general idea about these things. You don't have to go into details about all these movements and literary changes or critical ways of looking at literature, but you need to have a basic understanding of what these mean, because if you don't do that, then you won't be able to understand the kind of poems and the kind of stories and novels which you're supposed to read in this paper. Okay, so now let me come to the main part of this paper. Group A is again poetry. You have two poems by W.B. Yeats, Lake Isle of Innisfree, Sailing to Byzantium. Now I also want to mention again that last year University Board of Studies, they had notified us that only Sailing to Byzantium is there in the syllabus. Because of COVID situation, you didn't have to study Lake Isle of Innisfree. Now this might happen again this year. We don't know that yet. So I'm just giving you the whole syllabus to be on the safe side. We will study the whole thing till we get any notice from them. Okay, then I'll inform you. Okay, so after Yeats we have T.S. Eliot. Again, two poems, The Love Song of J. Alfred Prufrock and Preludes. Third poet is Wilfred Owen, and the poem is Spring Offensive. It's a war poem. Peace by Rupert Brooke and Musée Debut Arts by W.H. Auden. Now, among these, I have already done videos on Sailing to Byzantium, and I've also completed T.S. Eliot, done both the poems, Love Song as well as Preludes. So if you're interested, you can go and check them out. Now coming to Group B fiction, you have Heart of Darkness by Joseph Conrad, Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence, and To the Lighthouse by Virginia Woolf. Now D.H. Lawrence's novel, this is earmarked for internal assessment. So you won't have questions on Sons and Lovers in your end semester final exam. So this will be for your internal assessment. Your teachers will give you questions or projects on that, and you can do that as your internal assessment. So for your end sem, you have to concentrate on Heart of Darkness and To the Lighthouse. And here they won't give you any short questions. They will only give you long questions. Even in the original plan, it is long questions only. From this paper, then you have to prepare poetry and novel. This semester, you don't have to do any drama. Okay, that will come in the 6th semester. So this was the 12th core. So you have 2 core papers. If you have any questions, please ask them in the comment section. Now let me come to the question of DSE. What is DSE? DSE means Discipline Specific Elective. Now ideally, the university provides you with more than 2 DSE options. You will choose which DSE you want to do, or in some cases the college will choose which 2 DSE the college teachers are going to teach, and you have to stick to that. Now in English syllabus for 5th semester, originally there were 3 DSE papers given. The first DSE paper was on Old English Literature, Philology, Rhetoric and Prosody. The second DSE paper was, that is DSE 2, that was on Literary Types and Terms. And the third DSE that was offered originally was autobiography. Okay, so you have to choose any two. Either you or your college will decide for you. But last year, the university gave a notification that DSE 3 will not be offered for that year. Now, I don't know what they're going to do this year. But to be on the safe side, it is better to prepare, at least for this year, the first two DSE, because those two will be definitely offered. I'm not sure whether the DSE on autobiography will be offered or not. I will give you the details of that DSE as well. Now let's come to DSE 1, Old English Literature, Philology, Rhetoric and Prosody. It's a very scoring paper. It's a very easy paper, I would say, because you don't have to study any texts here. You just have to have some knowledge about certain concepts, and especially philology is extremely scoring. Coming to Group A, which is Old English Literature, you have to study Old English poetry, where you have to study the background and everything. A passage from Beowulf is given for reference. Last year again it was said that no detailed study of any text is needed because of the pandemic. But let's just look at the whole syllabus first. Non-epic, secular, elegiac poetry, in short, elegies. Theme, style, social picture, language. So see, what they are doing is they are providing you with all the topics that you need to prepare. So you mostly have list of questions here which you need to prepare to score well in this paper. Then you have Christian poetry, Caedmon, Kinwulf and Old English prose. Now, I'm very happy to say that I have already started this series on history of English literature, and I have done more than one videos on Old English period. Okay, so the links will be provided here, and I would suggest you just don't stop at Old English. Go on watching the other videos of the series too, because if you are a student of English literature, then it is very important for you to know about the entire span, or rather the whole history of English literature as much as possible. But concentrate on the Old English period for this particular paper. In Group B, you have philology, which is nothing but history of language, how the English language came into existence, what are the influences on English language, what are the different ways in which English language changed itself, because the way we write or speak in English right now is not the way it used to be even in the time of Shakespeare or in the time of Old English period. So how English language has changed over time, that you will study in this part. Here, Unit 1 is Growth and Structure of English Language, where you have to study about Indo-European family of languages, Grimm's Law, Latin, Greek, Scandinavian, French influence, and many such topics. You can see the topics alongside. I've listed them for you. You would be relieved to know that I have made this full series on philology already available completely free of cost in my channel. You can go and watch them. Again, I'm asking you to watch them not at one go. Take your time, sit with a paper and pen, try to write down whatever notes I'm giving alongside so that the concepts become clear to you. I have made videos on Indo-European family of language. I've made videos on Grimm's Law and all these influences. So please go and have a look. For short notes, you need to prepare pre-Christian Latin loans, Scandinavian war and law terms, hybridism, Johnsonese, monosyllabism, back formation, free and fixed compounds, French law terms, assimilation, ing ending, s ending. Now, these are for short notes. Now, if you study the influences and all these things which I have mentioned earlier, most of these short notes will be covered there. That will help you have some preliminary idea about these concepts, and these are very, very scoring concepts. If you have the right concept, you don't have to memorize things without understanding them, because in philology, if you memorize without understanding, then it's going to be a disaster. All right, so pay close attention to the lectures. In Unit 2, it's specifically on Indian English, only word notes, and here you have to study about loan words, loan translations, hybrids, adaptations, diffusions, but you won't be asked questions on these topics. You will be asked to write philological notes only. Philological notes means a word will be given you will be asked to write the history of that word, from where did that word come, whether any Indian word is used to make a hybrid or a combination with English to make that word. So there is a specific list given in your syllabus. You have to only prepare these word notes, and these notes are also readily available with me, so feel free to ask anything that you need. The words are pen, guru, lathi charge, tiffin box, military, hotel, 420, communal, out of station, batchmate, and matchbox. All right, so they have also given certain history of literature books here as suggestions, which I will also provide you. In group C, that is rhetoric and prosody, this is entirely internal assessment. So your college teacher will guide you as to what kind of assignments you need to do for this, whether you have to sit for any exams. Here, nothing specific is given because it is the discretion of the college teacher, I guess, how they are going to approach this part. So rhetoric and prosody is the internal assessment portion from this DSE paper. Now let's come to DSE literary types and terms. Now before going on to this, I want to mention one more thing, that don't think that this is not the core paper, so this is not an important paper. This also carries 75 marks. This also carries the same 6 credit weightage. So DSE paper is as important as core paper. It is called a DSE paper because you're supposed to make a choice here. Which DSE you want to take? You have to select any 2 DSE. So DSE 2 is pretty straightforward. You just have to study literary types and terms. They have given you certain terms which you need to understand. The definition, examples, as simple as that. In group A, you have to study tragedy, comedy, novel. What tragedies are, what are the different aspects of tragedy, similarly comedy and novel. Now here, comedy is earmarked for internal assessment. So you won't be asked any question on comedy in your end semester exam. That will be done by your teachers for internal assessment. So you have to prepare tragedy and novel long questions for end sem exam. That is the first group. Group B is literary terms. Now there is a very long list. First they have given a list related to poetry. I'm not mentioning these, just have a look. The list will be provided in the PDF in the description box, and there are terms related to drama and terms related to fiction. So it looks like a long list, but many of these things, you already know what these are. Suppose sonnet, you already know what a sonnet is. So this is where you learn to provide definition in a concise way. For example, you know what sonnets are. Again, you have studied Macbeth, and in your first semester you have studied this tragedy. So you know what hamartia is, but here you will learn how to write what hamartia is in a concise and precise way with a proper example. So this is like a training for the competitive exams where you need to understand these core concepts. Okay, and this paper is very important. You need to know these terms to write a proper answer, sometimes to understand what questions are asked. Okay, so pay close attention. This is a very scoring paper again, especially the short note portion. Okay, so no long questions will be asked from group B. You will be given good marks if you write the definition and example in a proper way. DSE 3, which is, I'm not sure is going to be offered or not this year, but I'm giving you what DSE 3 is. It is on autobiography. Group A is again a background understanding, self and society, role of memory, autobiography as resistance, autobiography as rewriting history. Group B is Rousseau's Confessions, part 1, page 5 to 43. So it's a small portion. Then you have M.K. Gandhi's autobiography or the story of my experiments with truth, part 1, chapters 2 to 9, that is page 5 to 26. Group C, Binodini Dashi's My Story and Life as an Actress. This is again page 61 to 83. And Arevati's The Truth About Me, a Hijra Life Story. This is chapters 1 to 4. Now this last book, A Hijra Life Story, this is for your internal assessment and end semester on the rest of the books. Now, in all these papers, these 2 core papers, 2 DSE papers, you have 5 marks each for attendance. In the COVID situation, probably, nobody is penalized, everybody is given 5 out of 5, because that is the, compassionate way of looking at things. But otherwise, under normal circumstances, this attendance marks is earned by actually attending the classes. Okay, so you have to be very particular about attending your classes. If the online mode is adopted by your college, then you definitely have to attend as many classes as you can. Okay, so this is the end of our discussion today. Just to give you a brief overview again, we have 2 core papers, each of 75 marks, and 2 DSE papers, each of 75 marks. And many of these topics have already been covered in our channel. I have given you a list of the videos which we have already done from semester 5, so that you can start working on these topics. And gradually we will be uploading more videos on semester 5, so that you keep getting help from us. I am just one human being, so I can't commit that I will be able to complete everything in your syllabus, but I'll definitely try to help you out as much as I can. I have received overwhelming response from the previous 5th semester students, and somehow their appreciation has really encouraged me to go on this semester as well. Many of you have been my subscribers in your 4th semester, and I really am grateful for your extended love and support. So best of luck for your new adventure. Semester 5 is exciting, trust me, and you will love many of the texts, and let's hope we can continue together like before. If you haven't subscribed to us, please do so right now, so that we can stay connected now and for the rest of the semester. Thank you so much. This is Monami Mukherjee signing off. Thanks for being with us. Bye-bye.